welcome to ToddFun.com. And believe it or not, I've actually started on my pinball machine. Yes, this is the Star Trek pinball machine, the 1978 Bally Star Trek. I've bought it out at auction for like a couple $100, like maybe 5 years ago, I can't remember. I went through it and found out everything that was not functional and ordered the parts and got them in, and that was it. I just left it in the corner with the box of parts ready to go. Mostly because, you know, I've never done a pinball machine before, you know, and I won't be doing another one because I like to play pinball, but I'm not the type of person that would collect pinball machines. I just happen to really like Star Trek. I happened to run across a fairly decent machine for a really good price. It needed work, but I definitely was capable of servicing it. But the things I don't really understand is how to service, how to clean one properly, and how to, you know, there's things I didn't know. So there was research. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where I'm at with my restoration. There will be some people out there that know a lot more about pinball machine repair than me, so please put any information you have in the show notes, that is in the comments under the show notes. Let me know what you know. Maybe I should do differently or look at or consider. I do have a lot of information, some of which I can't really do right now, because right now I'm mostly just going through it and making it functional. I'm not trying to do a deep restore. So I'll cover the parts I am doing, and I'll probably mention the things that I plan on doing so that you know I have done some homework. So really I just want to show you where I'm at with it, so we can get it up and running and at least working and functioning, and get it in the house and start enjoying it a little bit. And then finish up the harder, deeper restoration issues at a later date. Otherwise, if I waited until I did the full dive into this thing, it was going to be another 5 years, because I just don't have the time to go that deep into something like this. So let's see it power up. A lot of things are working now, and I'll show you what I have done. Okay, the back glass is original, and it's the silk screened. It's original back glass, so it's in really great condition. On a side note, to keep it in great condition, I built that container there, which you can see it's sort of like a box thing. It has a lid, so it's sort of like has some bubble wrap in there, and then the glass goes in there, and then this slides down and then protects the glass so the glass can't get damaged. And that's how I keep the glass stored when I'm servicing it. And because I don't want the glass to go bad, that's way too expensive. It had some display problems. 4 of those 5 displays were bad. I had ordered those off eBay, restored back about 5 years ago. And as you can see right now, the deck is all tore down. I had a couple of young boys, my son who's 11 and his friend who I believe is 11. They went through it and spent about 5-6 hours yesterday carefully taking photos and stripping everything off the deck so that it could be cleaned. And I did use the Novus cleaner on it, as advertised or as noted on many restoration pinball sites to use to clean the deck. Where I get into concern is how do I re-wax it? I mean, sure, I've gotten all the dirt off of it. The boys did a great job cleaning it up, but now I have to make sure it's properly waxed. And there's supposed to be some skid, I guess they're called skid plates or something. They're supposed to go down here where the paint is missing. Someone had taken up the skid plates, and then of course the ball starts to wear through the paint, which is bad. So I had to get them. They do have those skid plates, or I think there's a different name for that. There's some around all of these bumpers here, but this one's damaged, so it's going to have to get peeled up and replaced. So that's some work I'm not going to do right now. I'm not going to be able to get this right now either, but I'll be able to do that shortly. I do have all the rubbers and everything for inside of here. We went through and replaced many of the light bulbs. We got about probably 90% of the light bulbs replaced. We're working on getting the rest of them back here replaced. So let's just power it up and see it work. That's always kind of fun, right? There, that should give us a pretty good shot of it powering up. And it's just going to go through a power up cycle real quick. There, that was the power-up cycle that basically goes through and checks itself and does a reset of all this stuff. That's sort of the health check. And there's diagnostic modes we can run through. I'm not going to show that now, but you can put the pinball machine into diagnostic mode, which then helps you check all the displays and all the lights and all the switches and solenoids and everything. It has tests for all that, and it's a fairly easy thing to do. So looking at the deck, this all kind of is all fully functional. We started the game, so it's well, I mean, you get the idea. So yeah, and then it tallies up when the ball goes in. So it's that's how far it is right now. Let's take a look behind the back glass here. I'm going to store the back glass now in that storage I showed earlier. And then we'll look inside and I'll point at a few things that I replaced inside. You might have saw over here, this is sort of the service desk over here. We have all the bits have been taken out and we've cleaned all the plastic bits, the rails. We've polished up a few nuts and bolts. There's the old displays over there. Those are the bad ones. And then there's a soundboard because we had to order up a soundboard. That one was dead. And of course we still have a box of parts and stuff for the legs and covers and the manuals and more lights to put in. And so there's the back glass back in its protective box. And I'm going to put the cover on and store it away again. Glass is in there. There's 4 carriage bolts on the corners here that go through all of the surfaces and holds this lid on. And then there's 2 handles here so you can pick it up and carry it around. And that's what it looks like. It's got wing nuts on the back. And I just put this away for storage. It's a really great design I kind of come up with myself. Can't damage this black, but the back glass is really not replaceable. I replaced all the displays except for this one. This one was the original to when I purchased it. There's a guy on eBay who restores these, so I just basically buy some of his, send the old one back if he wants them, and he can restore them. There's 2 clips that you take off here, and then this just swings open. And behind here you can get to the wiring for the display and of course the control boards. This power supply, power conditioning, relay control, or solenoid controls, sound controls. This is the main motherboard here that essentially is in charge of everything. It's not original, it's one of the aftermarket ones that's configurable to many different Bally games. I'm okay with that because I don't really need to have the original equipment in the machine. This aftermarket design one is perfectly fine for me because I really care about the artwork of the back glass, the artwork of the deck, and the gameplay. That's what I really enjoy about the machine. And I don't collect or restore machines. This is the only machine I have and will ever have because it'll be a main feature in my house. So I'm perfectly happy with the aftermarket, and it works great. It's configured to run this Star Trek Bally game, and it works great. The sound card was bad. Rather than trying to figure it out myself, there's a guy on eBay who just restores them, and he had restored that one. I'll send back my old one, and for a few dollars I get a restored soundboard, and it did work right away. I plugged it in and it worked right off the bat. So everything seems to be fully functional there. I'm going to put some stuff back on the deck and we'll take a look at that. That'll be the next step.